What if you woke up in the middle of the night and someone was already inside your room? I've never been a light sleeper, so when something pulls me out of a dead sleep, it always feels wrong. This happened in the fall of 2016, and I still get chills when I think about it. I woke up suddenly at around 2:45 a.m. My bedroom was pitch black except for the dim glow of the digital clock. At first, I thought it was just a bad dream that startled me awake, but then I realized I wasn't breathing alone. There was this faint, raspy sound coming from the corner of my room, as if someone was inhaling through their nose and exhaling heavily through their mouth. I froze. My apartment was small, one bedroom, and I lived alone. Every instinct in me screamed to turn on the light, but I was terrified of what I might see. I reached for my phone on the nightstand, moving slowly, trying not to make noise. Just as I grabbed it, the breathing stopped. Dead silence. I held my breath, waiting, straining my ears. After maybe 10 seconds, the sound of footsteps started across my hardwood floor. Soft, deliberate steps, like someone trying not to be heard. They stopped right next to my bed. I couldn't bring myself to look. I just lay there, clutching my phone to my chest, praying it was my imagination. Then my mattress shifted. Not a lot, but enough to feel like someone had placed a knee on it, like they were about to climb in. That was the breaking point. I unlocked my phone, blasting the screen's light toward that side of the bed. No one was there. The floor was empty. The corner was empty. Yet the mattress was still sinking slightly, as if it was holding weight. I panicked and turned on the lamp. Everything looked normal, but as I tried to calm my breathing, I noticed something chilling. My closet door, which I always kept closed, was slightly open, just enough for a shadow to seep through. Gathering what little courage I had, I got up, phone in one hand and a heavy glass candle in the other. I swung the door open. The closet was empty, but as soon as I did, I heard the sound of hurried footsteps running down the hallway outside my apartment. The problem? I lived on the 3rd floor of a secure building. No one should have been able to get in, let alone leave without me hearing the front door. I didn't sleep that night. In fact, I barely slept for weeks. I started leaving all the lights on, double-checking my locks, even pushing furniture in front of the door. Nothing like it happened again, but every so often, I wake up at exactly 2:45 a.m. heart pounding, waiting for that sound of breathing to return. I've never been the type of person who scares easily. I worked night shifts at a hospital, so strange noises and eerie silences became normal for me. But what happened in my own bedroom one night has stayed with me ever since. It was late October of 2019. I had just gotten home from a long shift and collapsed into bed around 3 a.m. My room was pitch black except for a faint glow from the streetlight outside. I remember lying on my side, half asleep, when I suddenly woke up with the unmistakable feeling that someone else was in the room. At first, I brushed it off as my overtired mind playing tricks on me. But then I heard it, footsteps. Slow, deliberate steps, moving across the carpeted floor, coming from near the doorway. My stomach dropped. I held my breath, straining to listen. The steps stopped. For a full minute, there was silence, and I convinced myself it was the neighbors upstairs. But then the sound started again, closer this time. Right beside my bed, I froze. My eyes darted toward the corner of the room, but it was too dark to see anything clearly. I remember clutching the blanket up to my chin like a child. silently praying that I was imagining it. Then came the sound that still makes my skin crawl. Breathing. Deep, steady breathing, just inches from my face. I wanted to scream, but my voice wouldn't come out. My body felt paralyzed. For what felt like an eternity, I lay there listening, my heart pounding so loudly I thought it would burst. And then, the mattress dipped, like someone had leaned their weight on the edge of the bed. That broke me. I shot up and scrambled for the lamp, fumbling with the switch until light filled the room, but there was nothing there. The room was empty. The door was still locked from the inside. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the corner of my room with the lights on until morning. The scariest part? This wasn't the last time. For the next week, I'd wake up at the exact same time, 3:17 a.m., and hear those same slow footsteps moving across my room. Every time I turned on the light, there was nothing. After the 7th night, it just stopped. I never heard the footsteps again. To this day, I don't know if it was sleep paralysis, a spirit, or something else, but I do know this. I've never felt safe sleeping in complete darkness again. I'll never forget the night I woke up to the sound of my bedroom door creaking open. It was November of 2020, right in the middle of lockdown, and I was staying with my parents while working remotely. Their house is older, with floors that groan and doors that never quite shut right, so at first I thought it was just the unsettling. But then I heard the door actually click open, like the handle had been turned. I opened my eyes just a sliver, not wanting whoever, or whatever, was there to know I was awake. My room was dimly lit from the streetlight outside, just enough for me to see a tall, shadowy figure standing in the doorway. It wasn't moving, just watching. My first thought was that it was my dad, maybe checking on me, but something felt wrong. My dad is short and stocky, not tall and thin like this figure. And my parents would never just stand there silently in the middle of the night. The figure stepped into the room. I shut my eyes instantly, pretending to be asleep, but my heart was racing so loud I was sure it could hear it. I listened as it walked closer, each step slow and heavy, until I could feel it standing right next to my bed. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. My throat locked up. Then I felt it, the faintest brush of cold fingers against my arm, as if it was testing if I was real. That jolted me into action. I shot up, fumbling for the lamp switch. The second the light came on, the room was empty. No one stood by the bed. The door, however, was wide open. I ran to my parents' room, barely able to get words out. My dad grabbed a baseball bat. My mom called 911. We searched the house from top to bottom. Every door was locked, every window sealed. There was no sign of forced entry. The police came and found nothing. They told us it might have been a dream or sleep paralysis. But here's the part that made my stomach drop. When I went back to my room later, the blankets on the foot of my bed had been pulled down neatly, folded like someone had sat there for a while before I woke up. For weeks, I refused to sleep in that room, staying on the couch instead. Every night, I'd hear faint creaks upstairs, as if someone was walking the hallway outside my old bedroom. I don't know if it was a person who somehow slipped in and out without a trace, or something else entirely. What I do know is that I'll never forget that icy hand on my arm, and the feeling that something wanted me awake that night. If you made it this far, maybe you belong here. Subscribe to WhisperCage, more true horror is waiting.